Good morning, people. This takes us to another part of our discussion, and I want to achieve clearly that for our discussion, this is ending the chapter 1 as for us. Of course, there are other parts of research that are done, but based on what UNEB syllabus, the GP syllabus states, I think we have to stop here. What we're going to look at, the section called definition of key terms. What is the definition for key terms? This is the section that explains important words and concepts used in your project, and it helps the reader understand exactly what you mean by those terms. You should define them, especially the main variables in your topic and the other connecting terms. This makes your work really so specific. Like, even if a word has many meanings, you focus on just that one word meaning. So we shall write each term clearly and give a short, simple academic word definition, connecting so much to our study. You can also use your own words or slightly modify the reliable word sources. You should number them or bullet them. Examples of other key terms depending on your topics. So if I was doing this topic of malaria and stagnant water, maybe I would have to define stagnant water is what, mosquito breeding places, malaria prevalence, what is immunity. Like, these are the common things, what are selected households, like what is the simple definitions. If you study it under your topic, someone had such a topic. Wow. Sanitation conditions, what does it mean? What does toilet usage behavior mean? What does diarrhea diseases mean? What does, even are there diarrhea diseases? I think this is not supposed to be there. What is diarrhea, maybe? Then we have what is poor ventilation, what is sewage management. These are words that this person wants to talk about really in their study. So they have to. So maybe as you go on, also you will find more words that you have to put in this line of definition of key terms. For the topic of digital devices topic, maybe you have to define the term digital devices, define the term non-academic purposes, define the term student concentration focus, define the term ICT lessons, so that you can normally go on. So for example of the definition section, so like this, stagnant water. What is stagnant water? It is the water that remains still in one place for a long time without flowing, often found in open containers, dishes, or around pits in homes. Malaria prevalence is the number of frequencies of malaria cases recorded among people in particular areas during specific period. Mosquito bite prevention methods. Assuming all these are the things you want to talk about, you can always work with a simple definition from the AI, from a book, and you see it focused to your project, and then you write it down. So the main important tips here: define only the terms that are central to your study. Don't define very common terms like school, student, and unless you're not serious. Keep each definition short and clear, at most 2 sentences, and always write in a formal or academic way. Don't just set things anyway. Be formal, be academic. Wow, let's focus on writing chapter 1 in one documentation, because now chapter 1 is ending. I'm going to produce the next video showing us how do we organize all this, how do they flow, and how do we develop a table of contents, what happens to acknowledgement, and etc. that begins this whole process. Wow, now this really makes it a start, because after closing this chapter 1, in a few days from now, we shall be starting chapter number 2, which only has one thing to write: the literature review. Anyway, it is going to be a time of hard writing, because the other time you had to look at one reference. In literature review, you're going to look at very many references as guided by our specific objectives. For now, bye, like, share, and subscribe.